pushing new software out into the world, it can be one of the most nerve-wracking moments for any developer. Seriously, one wrong move and the whole thing can just come crashing down. So today, we're going to break down 3 modern strategies that help turn that super risky moment into a controlled, safe release. Let's dive in. All right, so let me just start with a question that pretty much every developer, SRE, and DevOps engineer feels deep in their soul. What is the single riskiest, most stressful moment in the entire software lifecycle? Yep, you guessed it, it's this one. That moment you finally push the button and send your new code out into production. It's kind of the point of no return, right? It's where all your hard work finally meets real users and, literally, anything can happen. And that's because the stakes are just incredibly high. A hidden bug can take down the whole system. Any downtime costs real money and loses user trust. And if things do go south, the blast radius, the impact on your users, can be absolutely massive. This is exactly why we have deployment strategies in the first place, to manage all this risk. Okay, let's kick things off with the most common strategy out there. This is the one you'll find as the default in tools like Kubernetes. It's called the rolling update. So think of your application like it's a live orchestra. With the rolling update, you don't actually stop the music to switch players. Instead, you just swap out one musician at a time with a new one. The performance keeps going, and slowly but surely, the entire orchestra is made up of the new players. It's a really steady, gradual transition. So how does it work? Well, the mechanics are pretty simple. A new instance with your updated code spins up and starts taking traffic. As soon as it's healthy, an old instance gets taken down. And you just repeat that cycle over and over until every single old instance has been replaced. The really crucial point here is that for a little while, both the old and the new versions are running at the same time, serving users. So what are the trade-offs? Well, on the plus side, it's simple, you get zero downtime, and it's built right into Kubernetes, which is awesome. But having those 2 different versions running together can be a real headache if they aren't backward compatible. And rolling back a bad update, that can be painfully slow because you basically have to do the whole process again, but in reverse. It's great for stateless apps and simple changes, though. But what if you just can't have the old and new versions coexisting? Well, that brings us to our next strategy, the blue-green deployment. I like to call it the big switch. This whole strategy is built on having 2 identical environments. So imagine you've got a stage. We'll call it the blue environment, where the current performance is happening live. Now, behind the curtain, you're building an entirely new, completely identical stage, the green one, with the updated version of your show. Here's the play-by-play. While blue is live, you deploy all your new code to green. You can run every test you can think of on green, completely away from users. When you are 100% confident it's perfect, you flip a single switch at the router, and boom, all traffic instantly goes to green. And the best part? Blue is still there, totally untouched, ready for an immediate rollback if anything goes wrong. The upside here is huge, right? Instant rollbacks, no weird versioning conflicts. But the downside? Well, it's the cost. You're basically running double the infrastructure, and that is not cheap. It's a fantastic choice for really high-risk releases or when you need that absolute certainty you can revert in a split second. Okay, on to our final strategy. This is often the safest of the bunch, but it's also the most complex. This is the Canary deployment, where you're basically testing in production with a small group of actual real users. The analogy here is just perfect. Think about a restaurant chef who's creating a brand new dish. They're not going to put it on the main menu right away, right? Of course not. Instead, they'll serve it to just 1 or 2 tables, those are your canaries, to see how they react. If they love it, fantastic. It gets rolled out to everyone. If not, it gets pulled immediately. So the rollout starts by carefully opening the floodgates, but really just a crack. A tiny fraction of your real user traffic, maybe just 5%, gets routed to the new version. The other 95% of your users, they're completely unaffected, still on the old, stable code. Okay, so now that first group is live, you're watching your dashboards like a hawk. Is latency looking good or error rates flat? If all the signals are green, you start to gain confidence. So you open the gate a little wider, increasing the traffic to, say, 25%. And you just continue this data-driven process, building trust in the release with every single increase. Once your metrics have proven the new version isn't just stable, but it's thriving under a real-world load, you make the final move and shift 100% of the traffic over. The rollout is finally complete. The benefit here is crystal clear. You dramatically limit that blast radius. If there's a problem, only a tiny percentage of users ever even see it. Plus, you get validation with real people, not just test data. But And you knew there was a but coming. This power comes at the cost of complexity. You absolutely need sophisticated traffic splitting and really robust monitoring to pull this off successfully. Okay, so we've looked at all three: rolling, blue-green, and canary. Now for the moment that kind of brings it all together, the strategy scorecard. And this table just brilliantly illustrates the core trade-off. Notice this: all three strategies can get you zero downtime. But look at the pattern. As you move from rolling to blue-green to canary, the risk goes down, but the complexity goes way, way up. There's really no free lunch here. If you want to reduce risk, it's going to require more sophisticated engineering. So you can see the trade-offs. But even with the perfect strategy, things can still go wrong. Choosing the right one is really only half the battle. Let's quickly cover the common mistakes that can turn any deployment into an absolute disaster. First up, the cardinal sin of deployments: having no rollback plan. I mean it. This is your ultimate safety net. I don't care how confident you are in your new code, you must have a tested, reliable, and fast way to get back to the last known good state. Skipping this step is like trying to walk a tightrope without a net. It's just asking for trouble. And just as critical is deploying without comprehensive monitoring. Pushing new code without watching your error rates, your latency, and your key business metrics? Well, it's pretty much the same as flying a plane blindfolded. You have absolutely no idea if you're soaring towards success or about to nosedive straight into an outage. The source material just puts it perfectly with this quote. It's blunt, but it is 100% true. If you're not monitoring, you're not really deploying, you're just guessing and hoping for the best. So how do you actually choose? Well, rolling updates are fantastic for smaller teams and simple stateless apps. Blue-green is going to be your go-to for those critical systems where an instant rollback is totally non-negotiable. And Canary? That's the gold standard for large-scale applications where you absolutely need to validate changes with real users. The key takeaway, though, is that a lot of mature teams actually use a mix of all three, picking the right tool for the right job. And that brings us to the end. The really crucial point here is this: modern deployment strategies aren't just some technical detail. They are fundamental tools for managing risk. They transform a release from a simple roll of the dice into a calculated, controlled process. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about for your own work.